comfortable, right? And you like the way the kid reacted after game one. He said it was fun despite him going 8 of 21 from the field. But last night, through the first three quarters, 29 points, 9 rebounds on better than 50% shooting. That was exactly what you needed from him. I thought he set the tone early in terms of being able to get to the basket, get to the free throw line. That was the biggest difference in this game. The aggression from the Pistons in the half court, making sure that they get the ball into the paint, not settling for jump shots, but trying to be aggressive and getting to the rim. And good things happen. Referees reward you when you do that. That's why the Pistons were able to shoot 28 or 34 from the free throw line as well.
And the free throw disparity, 34-19 in terms of free throw attempts in favor of the Detroit Pistons, something that Tom Thibodeau, head coach of the Knicks, not thrilled with post-game.
Huge discrepancy in free throws. Huge. So I got to take a look at that, right? So, I don't understand, how on one side, you talk about direct line drives, the guy's getting fouled and it's not being called. Right. So, and look, I really don't give a crap how they call the game as long as it's consistent on both sides. So if Cunningham's driving and there's marginal contact and he's getting to the line, then Jalen deserves to be getting to the line. It's really that simple.
Jalen Brunson did have 37 points last night. Oldest trick in the book, Smalls, is the after a loss NBA coach at a press conference complaining about the officials to try to get them in theory in their favor in the next game. Every coach does it. Tom Thibodeau did it last night.
He did, but maybe it'll pay dividends moving forward. But how does he explain how the Knicks struggled on the glass and how they're struggling to get to the line? How is he going to explain, or at least blame it on the officials, how Detroit was playing really hard earlier in the game, the defense, and how they were forcing the Knicks into those uncomfortable possessions? And then I think about the fact that even though obviously at the Garden you have a really rowdy Knicks crowd at all times, you're going to Detroit, and this is a city that has been waiting for this moment, a city that hasn't hosted Pistons home playoff game since 2019. Think about what the energy is going to be like as they go to Detroit, and think about how those fans are going to be. So Tibbs can say those things about the officials, and maybe it'll swing things in his favor a little bit, but they've got a lot to contend with this Detroit team moving forward.
Before he looks into the free throw disparity, maybe he should look into why Karl-Anthony Towns played the entire fourth quarter and didn't take a shot.
10 points. Total.
For him and OG Anunoby.
Yep.
I mean, can you explain that? The dude played 19 minutes in the second half, took 3 shots, made none of them. That's your second best player. You traded draft capital in order to bring him and Mikal Bridges over this summer for this exact reason, for the playoffs, to be able to take care of your business in the earlier rounds against inexperienced teams and hopefully give yourself a better chance to match up against the Boston Celtics. Those guys can't pull no-shows in the most important minutes. I mean, Cat didn't give you anything on offense. Mikal Bridges misses a big shot at the end that could have tied it. I mean, those are the plays that those guys are going to have to make, and they didn't make them. That's on you. Like, you want to blame the refs. The refs ain't had nothing to do with you getting out-rebounded 48-34. Nothing at all. The refs didn't have anything to do with the Pistons having more paint points, more second chance points, and more fast break points. That's on you, Tom Thibodeau. So for as great a job as he's done with the New York Knicks, I hate the tenor of that press conference post-game with him excuse-making and blaming the refs after his team just lost home court advantage against a Detroit Pistons organization that hadn't won a playoff game since 2008.
15-game losing streak for the Detroit Pistons. You mentioned the rebounding. That's without Beef Stew, who didn't play. Isaiah Stewart, who had a right knee injury. And, oh, by the way, in terms of the free throws, so just a quick question. Normally in an NBA game, the player that normally attempts the most free throws would be considered the best player in the game, we would think, right? Mm-hmm. By nature, that player, I don't even know if they're going to get the most calls. They're going to have the ball the most and attack the most to get to the free throw line the most. Just a question. Who's the best player in this series? I'd say Cade Cunningham, who shot the most free throws, right? I mean, his team shot the most free throws.
Yes.
He had 12 free throw attempts last night. So did Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson had 11, yeah.
Or 11, excuse me. Yeah, 3 point. Okay, one more. What happened last night is what is supposed to happen. The best player gets to the line the most. Cade Cunningham was the number 1 overall pick in the draft for a reason, and he's showing it right now.
Okay, and that's fair, and I think that's a legitimate question.
Mm-hmm.
But even if Cade Cunningham plays Jalen Brunson to a draw, the second, the third, and the fourth best player in this series should be with the New York Knicks.
Correct.
Them guys didn't play like it last night.
That's right.
Tobias Harris, make of him what you will, gave you 15 and 13, stepped up, played big in that third quarter.
Dennis Schroeder
off the bench because Ausar Thompson fouled out midway through the fourth quarter. Tom Thibodeau, just when we want to start talking about the foul calls, their best defender fouled out in the fourth quarter. Yeah, you're relying. Dennis Schroeder stepped up and played big-time minutes, gave it to you on both ends of the court, including that game, that go-ahead three with 55 seconds to go. Those are big-time plays. The Pistons guys are making them. Your guys aren't. Yet you're supposed to be more talented when it comes to 2 through 5. And you just it didn't play out that way. And so that's why you have to really be concerned if you're the New York Knicks. You're routinely digging these deep holes for yourself against this Pistons squad and relying on massive fourth-quarter comebacks in order to get back in the game. At some point, you're going to run out of gas when it comes to trying to dig out of that hole. And I just don't know that that's the way the Knicks need to play for the rest of this series if they want to have a chance to take care of the Detroit Pistons.
We're on Sportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio. We're going on the road. Our show will be live from Green Bay beginning Thursday. Coverage in the NFL Draft brought to you by ZipRecruiter, GNC, and American Family Insurance. The second game last night in the NBA had the LA Clippers beat the Denver Nuggets 105-102. And Smalls, we've been talking about it for weeks. The what if. What if Kawhi is healthy? Like, we've asked that question about 1,000 times, and he had 39 points last night in that win for the Clippers over the Nuggets. He's defending Jokic on that three late to potentially tie the game. And Kawhi post-game basically said, I'm just glad I'm able to move. Like, no joke. That's what he said. And he's able to move. And now that series is tied 1 apiece.
Yeah, and Denver should be really worried about this because we're getting that version of Kawhi, the MVP version of Kawhi. James Harden has been great. And I love that you mentioned the defense from Kawhi, Evan, because he held the Nuggets to 5 points when he was the primary defender. You mentioned that play on Jokic, that huge steal. And for all of the conversations that we've had about load management, it seems like it's working for Kawhi Leonard because you talk about the injuries, you talk about the times that he sat out to make sure that he's preserved for this moment. And we are getting the version of Kawhi Leonard that he was hoping to see, that they were hoping to see, and preserving him in this way. And man, to think that they were able to play the Nuggets this way in Denver, and now the series is swinging back to LA. If I'm the Denver Nuggets, I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I mean, Kawhi Leonard balled last night. Didn't matter who the Denver Nuggets put on him, whether it was Jamal Murray, whether it ends up being Aaron Gordon. It didn't matter. Small guy, big guy, didn't matter. He was getting to the mid-post, high post, elbow extended, and just dominating those guys, backing them down, turnaround jump shots, pull-up jumpers at the three-point line off the wing. Like, I mean, he had it all going last night. And you knew it was going to be one of those nights for Kawhi with him making that three-pointer to have the go-ahead lead at halftime. Like, this dude is just an animal. And, I mean, when he's playing his best ball, I don't know that there is a more efficient scorer in these NBA playoffs. The dude had 39 points on less than 20 shots.
15 of 19.
He only missed 4 field goals. So, like I said, like when you have a player that can dominate in the way that he does on both ends of the court, like Kenny the Jet Smith always says, like he can give you 40 points, but he can stop your best scorer from having 20. That's the kind of player that Kawhi Leonard is. The only question that we have about him, about the LA Clippers, is whether or not you're going to get this version of him throughout the playoffs. But if Kawhi continues to play this way, the LA Clippers can come out of the Western Conference. They're that good. James Harden has been unbelievable. This is James Harden's best season since he left Houston. Zubats, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, he's an absolute animal, a problem to deal with on both ends of the court. So, yeah, Norm Powell. I mean, KD, Chris Dunn, like they have.
They're deep.
They're deep. They have all of the requisite pieces that it takes to contend for a title, and they have the coaching. And now in this series, you're talking about them having home court, going back to the Intuit Dome, where they play better than almost anybody in the Western Conference when it comes to home court advantage.
Let me ask you a question, both of you, very quickly here. If I said to you right now, every single player in the NBA is 100% healthy, and every single player in the NBA has the best game they could possibly have on offense and defense, Is Kawhi the best player in the NBA? Remember, I said offense and defense.
Right.
I think Steph's a much better defensive player than people give him credit for. He's not an elite defender.
No.
LeBron, when he wants to play defense, is an elite defender. That's not always, but I'm playing out that he's at his best. Jokic, I think, impacts defense more than people realize, but he's not the late great Dikembe Mutombo playing defense, right? If I told you every single player in the NBA played their best game right now at 100% health on offense and defense, is there a player definitively better than Kawhi Leonard?
Definitively better? No. Not definitively. There's not a player definitively better. I got to think about it.
Yeah.
But like he's up there. Again, when you start talking about two-way players, I don't know that there's anybody that can give it to you on both ends and be as dominant as Kawhi. I mean, SGA is a hell of a defender. People don't give him credit for it, but I don't know if it's to the level of Kawhi. And maybe I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to Kawhi just because we have proof of concept.